that on February 1st of
I'll be back to
2022, that was 3 days after John O'Keefe passed away, correct?
Yes,
And at some point on February 1st of 2022, you were physically either at or near the Albert home at 34 Fairview in Canton, correct?
I could have been. I don't recall if I was there.
Do you recall watching what investigators were doing in the neighborhood on February 1st?
I do not. If you could show it to me, I could maybe reflect my memory. I do not recall that specific day.
You don't recall monitoring what troopers were doing in the
I was not
neighborhood?
monitoring anything that the troopers were doing. If I had driven down the street, dropping someone off, picking somebody up, and saw the troopers, then I saw the troopers. I was not monitoring anything.
Directing your attention to 1:34 p.m. and 27 seconds. You texted your wife, Brian Albert, and Nicole Albert, quote, "Troopers back out front, but in front of Asian house." Did you not?
If I texted that, you could show it to me.
May I approach you now?
Yes.
Oh, 2-150.
No, show it to him, don't.
I'm sorry.
Attach it?
Oh, you show it to.
Show it to
Oh,
Mr.
I'm
Miller
sorry.
and don't reference what it is.
You think this is my first try?
Thank you.
I'm showing you a document, sir, and if you look up or look at it by yourself and look up at me when you're done.
I don't use glasses, but I can't see this. So maybe I need glasses.
Um,
I'm making it out. I got it.
I do have a.
Is it light?
No, he says he doesn't.
No, it's
wear-
not. It's just dark, but I got it. Go up front. What the hell? How is-
If you're struggling,
I'm reading mine, right? The middle one?
yeah.
yeah,
You take
yeah.
all your time, the time.
Yep,
you
I
need.
got it. Yep, I see it.
Okay. If I may just grab that
Yes.
back.
Thank you.
Having reviewed that document, is your memory refreshed?
I see that I texted what you said I texted. The
Okay.
troopers were outside of the house, yes.
Right, that's my question. This is a page that contains the group text that you had with Jen McCabe, Brian Albert, and Nicole Albert, correct?
Yes,
And in terms of the question that I asked you, you now acknowledge that you testified troopers back out front, but in front of Asian house, correct?
that's correct.
Mr. McCabe, what is an Asian house?
The next door neighbors to the Alberts were Asian.
So you mean that a family of Asian origin lived next door?
Yes,
They were the next door neighbors to your brother-in-law and sister-in-law?
correct. They lived, if you come out of Fairview, they lived to the right of the Alberts.
And did you know their last name was the Chungs?
I had no idea that, I've never met them. I don't know their last names. I just knew it was an Asian family next door.
And you didn't feel the need to ask their names or try to call them by their names?
I've never met them, sorry.
Objections sustained. You know what, Ms. Giannetti, let's come to sidewalk, please.
when you did tell the group chat about the troopers being at that house, nobody asked you to clarify which house you were talking about, correct?
Objection.
I'll allow that. Did anyone ask you to clarify?
Nobody asked me to clarify that I recall.
In fact, Brian Albert responded with just a question, right now. Do you recall that?
Yes, I think that was on the screen you just showed me.
And you responded yes, correct?
Did I get to see all the text or no?
And with the court's permission.
Yes.
I'm going to give you the previous page in case you need.
Just give it to him. Thank you.
I'll just give you one, and if you need the other, just let me know.
No problem. Thank you.
And again, just look at it silently to yourself and look up at me when you're done.
So am I to assume where you said Brian Albert said right now?
Yeah, would you like to see that?
So would that be the last one and then this is the next one?
What you,
I'm just making sure.
I understand, I appreciate that. You tell me.
Okay.
If with the court's permission.
Sure.
Thank you. Yep, that's what I was just looking for.
If I may collect the document.
I didn't read the rest of it.
No, take your time, please.
Okay, thank you. You're welcome.
You would agree with me that after you told the group in this group text that the troopers were back out front, in front of that house, Brian Albert's response was right now?
Yes,
And then you said yes, correct?
yes,
And then Brian Albert replied, okay, correct?
Objection, Your Honor. As of the reading,
Is that how he replied?
that's what it just said, yes.
All right. Now, at that point, you texted the group that you were trying to get a picture of what you were seeing, correct?
I didn't see that on the text.
And you don't deny that you said that in the text,
Can you
correct?
show me the text, please?
Oh, sure. Oh, did you say you didn't see it in the?
I didn't see that,
I'm
no.
sorry. I think that's probably because I didn't give it to you. May I push?
Yes. Have you shown those both to Mr. Lally?
That's the next page after this one. I'm showing you 2 pages.
Okay,
Again, read it to yourself and look up at me when you're done.
Do you have a phone with a flashlight on you?
I don't have a phone on me. If you have a flashlight, I'll be able to see it.
Do you mind? Oh,
Just
needs-
dark.
Madam Court Reporter, Mr. Clerk. Oh, okay.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jim.
All right, much better. I got it now.
Grab that from you.
Thanks.
Having reviewed that, do you acknowledge that you texted the group that you were trying to get a picture of what you were seeing?
Yes, I said I was going to try to take a photo.
You would agree with me that you were watching what was going on, correct, on February 1st?
No, I just happened to be driving through the neighborhood at that moment.
So you happen to be driving through, and then you texted the group to tell them what you saw, correct?
Yes,
And then you didn't just keep driving up the road and leave the area, did you?
I think I did.
Well,
Unless you tell me I went back, I think I did. I said I was going to try to take a picture.
right, well, that's my point.
Yeah.
You weren't, just having seen the troopers back out there at that house, in your mind, you still weren't done, correct?
I was going to take a picture to show them, oh, the troopers are outside your house.
Right, so in answer to my question, you weren't done with that scene, correct?
I think I was, because I don't know if I took a picture.
Well,
I think I went through. I mentioned I was going to try to take a picture. I don't know if I took a picture or not.
you didn't intend to be done at that point, correct?
I didn't intend to be done.
Right, because you wanted to take a picture of what was going
I
on.
was going to take a picture to show them that troopers were outside in front of the
Right,
house.
you wanted to
Correct.
continue to monitor what was going on, did you not?
I was not monitoring what was going on. I just happened to drive by at that moment.
May we be seen at sidebar?
Okay.
Pages that you've already reviewed, just to have you identified. If I may, please.
Sure.
Thank you.
And I'd just like you to take a look at them and just confirm that's what you've already seen before we took the break.
Yes, these are the ones you showed me earlier.
Thank you, sir. May I approach?
Yes.
Having reviewed those, sir, does this appear to be an accurate transcription of the sequence and the content of the group text chat within that timeframe?
Yes.
I would offer that, Your Honor.
All right. The only concern I have is I don't want to give the jury something they need a flashlight to read.
Well, my next.
So can I see it?
Of course.
Why don't I see? Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Bates, if you would display the first page, 21 and 50. How is your distance vision? Are you able to read what's on the screen?
I don't know why it's on blue. This is. Can I have them in front of me
Can
while
I have
you're
that? Thank
displaying
you.
them,
Yes.
please? Thank you very much.
And feel free to use the flashlight. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah, that's much better.
Much better. Okay,
Yes.
now we can all see it. With regard to your initial text exchange that we talked about, can you confirm what you texted at 1:34 and 27 seconds in the afternoon of February 1st, 2022?
Yes. Do you want me to?
Yes.
Oh, troopers back out front, but in front of Agent House. Looks like more has been dug up there for at least, there or at least looks like it.
Okay. And, Mr. Bates, if you go down the page, you see the responses. Okay. And who was it that responded to your notification that the troopers were back out front?
That would be Brian Albert.
Brian Albert Senior.
Yeah, yep,
And-
senior.
And his response was,
Right now.
and that was at 1:34.
Just want to jump in real quick and let you know that at the top of the chat, we did pin the Karen Reed Defense Fund. If you want to donate to Karen Reed Defense, she needs more money than ever for this retrial. And we're looking at text messages today from the McCabes, the McCabe family text messages from the last trial. This is Matt McCabe on the stand, David Yannetti questioning him about his communications with Brian Albert. Going to get interesting trial, too. Can you imagine? Lot to look forward to. There's a lot to look forward to.
PM and 45 seconds.
Yes, it was.
And you took that to be a question, correct?
Yeah, asking right now. Yes.
And we can move to the next one. Yes, 2151, please. Go ahead, walking, sir. Yes, please. Okay. And you responded to Brian by saying what to his question about right now?
I responded, yes,
And that was at 1:34 PM and 56 seconds.
yes.
You would have still been on scene at that time?
I'm not sure if I was still on scene, but I was obviously, if it was in the area, it must have been in the area, correct?
And the next exchange, Mr. Bates?
I want to thank Adam Lally,'s resignation. I'm going to read this one. The weekend is this weekend is the anniversary of my son's passing by suicide. Needed these laughs for sure. I'm glad we could make you laugh today. Thank you. Maybe John will come back and make you laugh some more. I'm sure he'll have some comedy. We're going to get to the best comedy in a few minutes for you. Back to comedy. Whether is it tragedy or comedy, this testimony?
And who responded to you?
Brian Albert again.
And his response was?
Okay.
You have a memory as to whether or not Brian Albert was on scene at that time or if he was somewhere else?
I don't have a memory of where Brian was at that time.
Given the fact that you're saying.
And also, we're looking at Mary. Thank you, Mary. She's also has an anniversary, and she also appreciates John's laughs tonight. It's exactly what I needed to hear tonight. Best channel ever, Mike. 3-year anniversary of Mary's husband's passing. I feel.
Troopers are out front and he's asking right now.
I'd assume he's not, I'd assume he's somewhere else, yeah.
And your response to him or your response to the group, I should say, was what?
I had to pick up a car, so I drove through.
Right, so this is a little further than we talked about.
Oh, I know, we're getting to the next.
So take this one down, please.
Let me just have a moment here, I'm sorry.
In this video, I did edit out some of the pauses, but I left in some for the effect, so you get the feel of how the judge, you know, and the breaks and the sidebars would go.
Yes, the second bubble, please, Mr. Bates, on 2152. Okay, now we're at 1:35 PM and 16 seconds, Mr. McCabe.
Yes, that's correct.
And your text to the group of you, your wife, Brian and Nicole Albert is what?
Trying to get pictures.
All right. And at this point, I've asked the next bubble be displayed, and then I'm going to skip to the bubble after that once you see it.
Like he's a private eye. He's taking pictures. That's what he's acting like.
The next bubble comes from Brian Albert.
Yes, Brian Albert.
And that's at 1:35 and 30.
Mr. Yannetti, let him,
Okay.
the screen speaks for itself.
What-
If it
what-
doesn't, then the witness.
Of course. What time is that at?
1:35:32.
Everyone's going nuts about the craw and the crawdaddy. That's what I was known as all through at Bridgewater State College. My boys would call me either crawdaddy or craw. One of them, his name's Mike. He's on one of my social medias. He's like I love the dude. We used to call him the mayor. He knew everybody. And he definitely knows Tommy Kelleher. He calls me, to this day, still calls me Craw. So that's not a new name for me. That's like Bridgewater dudes call me Craw or Craw Daddy. All right, let's go.
And his response, does that appear to be a typo?
PK, I'm assuming.
All right, the next bubble after that, which would be 21:53, please.
But I do prefer Young Jelly. I prefer to be called Young Jelly. I think John should respect that, actually. If he calls back in tonight, we might have to take issue. Please call me Young Jelly. I earned it.
And that is from whom?
Brian Albert.
All right, and the time there, are you able to make that out?
Does that say 1:35:34 or 1:38:34?
Whatever it says. If you can't see it, you can't see it. Next.
Sure, and his response was,
Okay,
does that appear to be correct in the PK?
I'd have to go back and,
Well, the previous one, you.
Next question.
Sure. All right, we can take that off for a minute. I'd like to just go over two more areas of these group chats with you. You would agree with me that later that same day on February 4th, the four of you, your wife, Brian Albert, Nicole Albert, discussed in that group chat the fact that Michael Proctor was talking to Kerry Roberts over the phone, correct?
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained.
At 3:01 and 48 seconds, you commented on the interview of Michael Proctor with Kerry Roberts, did you not?
Objection.
Sustained.
May we be seen?
Okay. Jurors,
See that? Audio out. silence them. And again, I do speed this up and edit some of this out, but I give you a flavor in this super edit. It's like a 40-minute thing. He's on the stand for a lot longer too, but this is just about the text messages. And this piece of content is the most viewed on our channel, even beyond any of the Bettero interviews. Bettero, at certain points, put up very similar numbers, but this is actually number one. Most views. And this is what I'm looking forward to in the retrial, is we have all this content. Never-ending content. We can just recycle it from trial 1 and compare it to trial 2. And we haven't even covered what's going on with Aiden or even Karen Reed. There's been so many filings. The new Aiden stuff is just wow. And the new Karen stuff too. There's so much upcoming. We have so much to keep our head up about, to look forward to. Free Karen Reed. It's in the pinned at the top of the chat if you want to donate. I might have to skip ahead a little bit though. It's getting annoying. Beep. I guess I didn't edit this part enough.
I'm going to do now, sir.
So I'd like you to not leave the witness in the dark if there's something that he can have.
What I'm going to do now, sir, is to hand you 3 more pages and ask if you can identify those.
Yeah, his motion to dismiss is fire. You are absolutely right, Lafierio. And Wednesday night, Lafierio is going to be here on the Young Jurks. We'll be talking about Aiden's motion with her. Definitely. I can't wait for that. Wednesday night, she's on vacation with her family. She's going to be on all the shows next week. I think my show on Wednesday, I think Mazza on Thursday, and I think Britt Happens on Friday. So I'm looking forward to that. I want to thank you, Lafierio, because this weekend I'm looking for 2 things. I'm looking for a new jacket that my friends, they fundraise some money. We're trying to get maybe a similar version to what Nathan Reed had, to Troll the Trolls, with the dog walker having the wicked nice jacket. And based on what Nan's done, that's one set of friends. And then Nan sent me a bunch of donations too. I'm getting the new computer. I'm going to get the big screen so I can see everything. I want to thank you so much for donating, everyone that's been donating and coming on the show too, Nan. I'm looking forward to it. So we got that upcoming too. Look at his face. Freaking hilarious. I want to thank Judith Besteri on Venmo. She said $30. She said, our superstar, whatever you decide. Thank you so much, Judith. Wow. Another friend off of Twitter. She owns a coffee company. She's amazing. She's on Twitter. I think you know who she is. She said 50. She sent $50 today. She said, Crawford for Kenton. Wow.
All right, Mr. McCabe, generally, do you recognize those,
Yeah.
sir? All right, so
I
go
just
ahead.
marching it up. Yep.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Yannetti.
The pages that I've handed to you and that you now have in your possession, those are from the same group chat that you identified earlier, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And it appears to have the same sequence and content of the group chat as well?
Yes.
I would offer that one.
Over the Commonwealth's objection, again, I'm not sending anything to the jury that they can't read. So let's mark this for identification. And the substance of those, each individual one will be question by question.
Understood. So, Mr. Bates, with regard to page 2160, I'm looking for the second bubble.
Do you have an extra copy for me to follow along? No? Or Jim, was it, Mr. United, was this in the, what was marked for, you're using that? All right,
I believe we have extra copies here.
Thank you.
all right. And if it's a question by question objection, just,
May that be displayed on?
may what be displayed?
Well, I just offered that as an exhibit, and I'm asking.
And I did not take it in. I said the content on a question by question, so it's each bubble.
All right. You saw that at 3:01 p.m. and 48 seconds on February 1st that you texted, quote, very weird that she's been barely interviewed. The whole dead comment was just told. I was supposed to have them talk last night and forgot to tell Proctor to call her. Do you recall that?
I recall it, correct.
All right. And those were your words, correct?
Yes, they are.
May that be displayed? Please?
No, it's in. We may display it later, but I'd like to move this testimony along. So that's in evidence.
And then in that discussion, at 3:03 p.m. and 15 seconds, it was Brian Albert who texted, quote, hope they don't think she's making it up after the fact for some reason, end quote, correct?
Objection.
I'll allow that.
I'll allow it.
Can you read the timestamp again?
Thanks,
the
Judge.
second
Thanks
vote.
for allowing it.
02161.
Oh, I found it.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's in the middle. I got that timestamp correct?
3:03:15.
Correct. And I read that accurately. Hope they don't think she's making it up after the fact.
Yes, that's correct.
And then less than a minute later at 3:05 and 32 seconds, you replied, yes, she was hardly interviewed, and I think just answered what was asked. Oh, I'm sorry, strike that whole question. I skipped his next response, which was at 3:05 and 2 seconds, where he said, but if they barely interviewed her, that's on them, correct?
That's from Brian. Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Now, with regard to that exchange, you would agree with me that you were talking about Kerry Roberts being interviewed by Michael Proctor, correct?
I don't want to make an assumption. Do you have the text previous to this that shows that we're referencing Kerry?
I do, and I'll show you that only to refresh your memory.
Yeah, I don't want to assume something.
I understand. I'm going to show you one page and ask you to look at it silently to yourself.
Okay.
And I've opened the packet for the page.
Okay.
You can just look up at me when you're done.
The flashlight thing is so bizarro. That room is very well lit. Just hold it up and you can read it. What's
Yeah,
going on here?
Again, my assumption it's Kerry based. Can I go back another page?
Feel free.
Okay, that's what I was looking for.
Yes.
Did those previous pages refresh your memory about the context of your group chat conversation?
Yes, it did.
And certainly it was talking about Kerry Roberts being interviewed, correct?
Yes, it was.
And you were passing along information about that interview to Brian Albert, were you not?
Yes, I was letting him know that Kerry was being interviewed.
And you were telling him things that she was saying, correct? Remember you said the whole dead comment was just told?
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained.
All right, in any case, we're gonna move
Look at
on
his
to the
face
very
there.
last
Did you see his face when
I
discussion that I've
what was up with that? Did you see
I
that?
told you. His facial expressions. I use that one. I love that one.
He's like, like he was so glad that question didn't get asked.
Ugh.
asked you about. Earlier that day, February 1st of 2022,
Oh,
at
before.
12:50 PM and 37 seconds, Brian Albert texted the group, which would have again been his wife Nicole, your wife Jennifer, and you.
You all
And that
fuck
text was,
Objection, Your Honor.
Okay, so
Here he comes.
I can't, which bubble on which page?
02148.
Right, on which
too.
page?
That's the page, 02148.
Okay, so I don't have
And
it.
the bubble is the second of the three bubbles.
So I don't have it.
I don't have.
I don't
It's just as
know
if he's never seen these texts
what
before in
the
his life.
objections pertaining to.
You know what I mean?
I don't have.
Jurors,
I
I
don't know what the
apologize that
objection's
this is
about.
taking so long.
That's what the objection is. It's
That's like,
taking
I don't know what
too
the
long.
hell's going on in this court. We're going to object, and I don't even know
what,
why.
Mr. Yannetti, why don't you?
Oh.
Why don't we come over here?
Mr.
We'll figure
Yannetti,
out
can
why
you make
we're
the-
objecting. But what
Mr.
I don't even
Yannetti,
know-
can you make the questions easier?
So you're objecting to it, so I'm not going to let you say what it is. You can show it to the witness.
Yeah.
Which one is this?
Which one?
Second
Which one?
bubble on 02148. And the third bubble on 02148. And then the first
Imagine what's
bubble on
there
02149.
that Bev won't
That's
let
all
us
I'll be
see
asking.
or let the court see.
It's
Think-
2025, and they
Alright,
got to
so
use
I
their.
won't-
How-
In
how-
the middle
yeah.
of the day, he's got to use his flashlight on his phone to read
with
a
all
text.
this light in the room. You got this.
I
bright
know.
window.
I know.
And what about like the fact that the defense has all these texts that Bev isn't letting in? She's and Lally's objecting. Imagine what they know that we don't.
Oh,
That Bev won't let this world see. That must be the most frustrating part for the defense and Karen Reed is like all that they know that they've been blocked from showing to the world.
did you see the one when they were going? It's on a block by text by text basis, Mr. Yannetti, and he goes, "Well, then I need to be heard on that." And she's like, and then they went to sidebar. It was great. It
was great.
It's like, yeah. I was like,
And the
that was a good
thing
one.
about this is we even skipped ahead a little bit, and just like what I meant to do with this video is show you, too, like how long it takes to get there. Like how long this is good stuff, but it takes so long.
It was
because-
painful. Yeah. And I
And
think
every
he did
time
that
there's
on
something-
purpose. I
Yeah,
think
and-
Matt did that on purpose.
Well, the defense did it on purpose, and the judge too. I feel like
Yeah.
it's like every time the shit gets good is when they gotta. It's like the NFL in a way. Like the last 2 minutes, you use all your timeouts. You conserve the clock. It's like
NBA,
that, except the opposite.
NBA. The last 2 minutes of an NBA game takes 22 minutes or something
That's
like
what-
that. You know,
yeah.
yeah, that's what it is.
That's what it is.
Absolutely.
Allow, based on the objection from the Commonwealth, the second bubble on 02148. I will allow
I will.
the author of the third bubble
The third bubble.
It-
on page 02148.
It's, no,
Oh,
second bubble
241.
48,
Is not allowed into evidence.
I need to be heard on that then.
She just said yes.
That's
and
the
now she
one.
said
This is the
no.
one.
All right, I'll hear
There
you.
it is. Can you back that up 10 seconds? Can you? I love this one. Back that up. I love this one.
That was hilarious, dude. What she said.
Yes.
No. The second bubble on 02148,
Is not allowed into evidence.
I need to be heard on that then.
No, all right, I'll hear you at sidebar.
Look at her. Oh my god. How long should I let this beep? Bro? I skipped ahead on this one.
Yeah. I loved that one. I need to be heard on that. It's like, guess I'm not getting my nails done this afternoon. Yeah. I love Yannetti.
Yannetti's like, fuck this. Look at him,
Yannetti
he's
is
mad.
so, he
Yannetti.
is,
Thank you, Your Honor.
ready.
Mr. McCabe, when we broke, I was just about to ask you about the last exchange here. You will agree with me that
he could read it. Well,
on
almost.
February 1st, 2022, at 12:51 and 49 seconds, you texted the group chat to say, ask Chris to ask some questions.
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
Wow. The select board member.
Yep, I'm reading it right now. Yes, that's correct.
And who was the Chris
That's what I
you
said.
were referring to?
Chris Albert.
That would be Chris Albert.
Brian's
Selectman
brother, correct?
Chris Albert.
That is
Selectman.
correct.
And then you
Oh, can you hit pause for a minute?
texted your wife.
I think
Brian-
I have a theory on that. Ask Chris to ask some questions. In other words,
Do some
have
intel.
Chris ask some questions so it's as if he has no clue what's going on.
Right.
Right. Like have him ask questions so it looks like he doesn't know what's going on. When he knows what's going on. They all know what's going on.
They're making plans. They're doing intel.
Exactly.
It's just like
yeah.
earlier when, earlier in this video when Matt McCabe said, "Yeah, I'm like, what did he say? Trying to take a picture, or like basically
Try to take a
he's-
picture, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yep.
why? Like,
He had to go pick up a car. Remember, I had to go pick up a car, and then she says, "No, they took that back out." That's why he was driving through to take the picture. He goes, "I had to go pick up a car."
yeah, and trying like.
I've
anyone
tried to
can-
take a picture.
Anyone can take a picture, but why is he trying? What's that mean? You know what that reminds me of? Like a PI. I'm trying to do it like in
Oh.
a non-suspicious way.
Yeah, well, because remember, Jen told everybody that they were going to try to figure it out like Scooby Doo, and that's why they weren't going to text because they want to find out what happened to John. Maybe that's what this was. Maybe they're all playing Scooby Doo.
Oh, the guy in the lawn? Don't tell him the guy came in the house. The guy?
Yeah. The guy.
And Nicole Albert, quote, tell them the guy never went in the house. Correct?
Look at this.
That's part of the same text. Yes.
Mr. McCabe, who was the guy that you were referring to? Does he have a name?
Is that officer, your good
John
friend,
O'Keefe.
JJ John O'Keefe? Is that Johnny? Is that Karen's boyfriend? Is that your wife's friend? No, it's the guy.
That would be John.
Oh,
John
now
O'Keefe.
it's John.
That would be
Now it's
John. That would be John.
That would be John. He's the guy. That would be John. That to me, like I brought that up the other night with on LTL with Todd McGee, the former Mass State Police. You could tell that comment bothered him too. He was like that is I forget the word he used, but it's like when you dehumanize the person, like you're trying to.
Well, you distance yourself from it is what
Yeah.
you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the reason why would you do that?
No, we know why.
Yeah.
You told the group to tell them the guy never went in the house. That was you talking about how you should all get your stories straight, correct?
No.
You would agree with me that your stories are all straight in terms of the guy never went in the house, correct?
Objection.
Can you answer that?
John never went in the house. It's not a story, it's a fact.
It's now
Well,
it's John.
when you said-
John. I thought you said it
Tell
was the
them-
guy. Why did he change the story? Why is it now John? I thought it was the guy. What happened there? Why did he change from the guy to John? What do you think, John and Como?
Wait a minute. They invited him over, right?
Yep.
You don't just invite a guy over to your house, right?
No.
They
I
invited
wouldn't.
John over. They invited John over. They didn't invite the guy over. Hey, any of you guys from the bar want to come back to our place? No, they invited John over.
A police officer.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, his
I don't
wife
know,
e-
Bob. I don't know, Bob.
His,
I'm
his
sorry, I was
wife,
reading this.
yeah. Didn't his wife even know exactly how old John was when she made that call? I believe so.
Yeah, they know more than yeah. Just it's
It's like I know that you graduated in 1990.
I was 90 with Lank
But
and
I
Walker
just-
with Lucky
yeah.
and yeah.
It took me like a year to figure that out, though. Like I didn't know that like on day one I met you. That's like something I learned more recently. That we're basically like we're both Gen Xers. That's what. That's
Is that what we are? I'm a Gen X.
Yeah, you're a
Yeah,
Gen X.
I'm not into. I'm not. I shouldn't say I'm not into that. I just didn't know what generation I was. Yeah.
And that's why I say like with our audience, the demographics. I think JFK is very aware of this too because he always talks about, "Are you a boomer?" Like if you look at the numbers, it's a lot of Gen X and a lot of boomers in the audiences for the content we do. And obviously there's some millennials, there's some younger people too. But
Yeah.
it's there is a few World War II generations still around too. There's some
I knew I wasn't a millennial. I can tell you that. Okay, I am not a millennial.
But the top demographics now for money and influence is Gen X and boomers, baby boomers. Baby boomers have all the money.
Yeah, and they're almost going to die. The baby boomers are going to die soon.
Some of them will live long.
Yeah.
I mean, we still got World War II people still at like 105 years old or whatever. There are still out there.
I got another. I told my fiance I'd give her 15 good years. I'm done at 70.
I hope so. I hope I get there. That's all I need.
To 70?
Yeah.
You want to get to 70?
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah. I just want to spend a couple paychecks of my Social Security and then I'm good.
That's what I'm saying.
I just want to say I
enjoy-
collected.
So I want to finally enjoy
You
some
keep moving the
financial security
goalposts.
and just
I
chill
know.
out for once, not work, and like maybe just do this stuff all the time.
Dude,
Let's
you
finish
paused
this.
it
We're
on a
almost
perfect.
done.
You paused
This
it
is
on
the
a
best
perfect
time.
spot. Look at
This
it. I
is the best
know.
time. Let's
There
I,
it is.
I feel like we should even go back
Never
a
went
few
in
seconds.
the
Let's go
house.
back.
He has a neck.
because this is so
Brian
good.
Albert
I love it.
and Nicole Albert, quote, tell them the guy never went in the house, correct?
Yeah, that's part of the same text.
Yeah, that crack.
Yes,
Mr. McCabe, who was the guy
Yes.
that you were referring to? Does he have a name?
that would be John.
That'd be John.
John
That would be
O'Keefe.
John O'Keefe.
John O'Keefe.
When you told the group to tell them
So
the
matter of
guy
fact.
never went in the house, that was you talking about how you should all get your stories straight, correct?
No,
You would agree with me that your stories are all straight in terms of the guy never went in the house, correct?
Objection.
Can you answer that?
John never went in the house. It's not a story, it's a fact.
Well, when you said
It's a fact.
tell them the guy never went in the house, Brian Albert was on that exchange still, was he not? He was still part of the group
Yes.
text?
Yes, Brian is on the exchange.
And Brian Albert was the one to respond, wasn't he?
Let me switch pages here. 51.
He responded, did he not?
Yes, he did.
And then at that point, you knew Brian Albert was the oldest brother of the Albert family, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
The oldest sibling in that family, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And in his response to your instructions that his younger brother, Chris, should say that John O'Keefe never went in the house, or the guy never went in the house, you would agree with me that he responded with one word, correct?
Yes, he did.
And in response to you saying the guy never went in the house, Brian Albert's response was exactly, correct?
Yes, that's his response.
We're done here.
We're done here.
I love that. Love
Mic
that.
drop.
Yeah. That's gangster
His
right there.
response
We're done there.
was- Yeah, his response. What was Brian Albert? Look at his face right there.
That's like out of My Cousin Vinny. And I'm done with this guy. Literally, that's what that is. And I'm done with this guy.
The guy that didn't go. The guy. Tell him the guy didn't go in the house. I mean, that should have been the end of the trial right there for the jurors.
There was so many things with Matt. All of the window stuff with Matt.
Yeah,
Okay.
looking out the window.
Yeah, he wasn't looking out the window because the reason he wasn't looking out the window is Julie Nagel was sitting in the seat that was in front of the window. If you go back and play, which I did, I've gone over and over all this stuff. They all said Matt wasn't at the table. Julie Nagel was at the table with Brian Jr. and Sarah Levinson, and Jen and Matt were standing around near the kitchen. They weren't at the window. He keeps saying he's at the window. Julie was looking out the window because that's when she got up to go out to her brother. There's a lot that he just... Same thing with leaving the bar. He said he was the last one to leave the bar. He said he was the one putting the bottles up on the bar. Okay? But when you watch the video, Chris is the last one to leave the bar. Chris hugs the bartender, the female bartender. He stops and talks to the two patrons on the left, on the right side of the screen who are sitting there left, and then Chris waddles out. Okay, but then Chris's testimony, he's like, "Oh, I don't know. I walked out with John and Karen." No, you didn't.
Yeah, they lie. I mean, well,
The whole
I don't even
thing.
say the word lie. They
So
either
Matt-
misremember or they mistestify, but they're
Yeah,
facts are wrong.
Roger Clemens
But that's
misremembers.
what's so great about this text chain, because Yannetti he had it down. There's no disputing it. This is what you wrote, and they have to read it back and admit to it. And look at this guy's face. Like, to me,
He knows.
the
He
guy
knows.
didn't go into the house. I mean, that is so compelling. Like, I don't care about. It's so funny how they all go after Karen for what they allege she said, but they don't have a text chain. They don't have video of it. They have people's memories that all conflict, and they want to go with that. We have the guy never went in the house. That's a proven fact statement this guy said. And Brian Albert says exactly. Like, these guys were all communicating, getting their story
That
right.
exactly is basically exactly. You know what I mean? It's correct. You got your story straight. Yeah. Same thing with have Chris ask questions. Make it sound like he doesn't know what's going on. Have him ask questions so that he needs to be clued in.
Exactly.
Can I say something? And this isn't to your fans. This is a general statement. The people that attack Julie Nagel because of her weight, that's kind of a thing that
Yeah, I don't like it either.
people. I'll tell you something. My older brother, who I love dearly, I love with every ounce of my heart. My whole life had been over 300 pounds, and he carried it well. And he's actually a couple pounds lighter than me for the first time in my life. Right? I just don't like it when we attack people for their weight. I got a lot of
looks. I think looks.
The
too,
looks
is
and the
just-
weight, and I'll tell you something. People, anyone that watches me on your show right now on Twitter, they're gonna post tomorrow. Oh, really? Remember when you did this? Okay, you know what? Yeah, I do, and I was wrong, and I apologize for it. Okay, maybe I fell into the same thing as everyone else. It's the schoolyard. You start teasing someone, and everyone jumps on.
And that's the nature of social media. It encourages it, and you know what? Like, we can remind
Yeah, the
each other-
bandwagon.
Yeah, we can all remind each other that we can maybe do a little better with that. Personally.
Yeah,
it's
and
up to you.
I apologize. I apologize for it too. I've been guilty of it. I've done it in the past, and I shouldn't have.
Yeah, and it's up to every person. Like, I'm not telling people what to do or lecturing you.
No.
And but we
No,
should
I
all-
just feel bad
do it-
sometimes.
I
It's
try
what
to
it
do
is.
it for myself.
I just feel bad
I
for
try to
people.
be nice on that stuff at least.
Yeah,
I think if we're going to be mean, in cutting to people and criticism, we should base it on what they do.
On their actions. Absolutely.
The
Yeah.
guy went in. The guy telling the guy didn't go into the house. That's something that just kind of can't come back from, and that's
Right.
documented. It's not about looks. It's not about weight. It's not about what you do for a job. It's not about any of that. It's not about
I'm with you there.
Who you voted
100%.
for? I don't care. All the stuff that doesn't matter.
100%.
It's about what you
100% on
actually
board with
did.
you there.
So,
Yep.
I think we should
I agree
focus
with
on
you.
that. All of us, and that's
Yeah.
the best way to be.
Amen to that one.
Let's,
Sorry.
wrap
Sorry. I
this
just.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just.
'Cause I
I
gotta
just
go walk
had
some
a soft
dogs.
spot. Yeah, you go walk some dogs. Well, then I'm going to go live. No, I'm not.
You
No, I'm
should.
not. No, I'm not.
I can
All
redirect
right.
you.
No, because I have to be prepared. I can't just go on. Could you imagine me by myself
Well,
just
look at-
throwing out stuff out there?
Well, look at me last night. I decided to run for office.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, actually,
Big
I'm
mistake. That was a
exploring
big mistake.
You think it was?
Stop exploring it. That was, my phone. Listen, every time you do something, my phone blows up. Okay, can you just
I'm
just
having fun. I don't care. I don't
I
think
know,
it was a
I
mistake.
know.
I think you're wrong.
I
think
get
it's
you.
perfect.
I understand you. So you know what it is. Same with me. A lot of people don't
See,
understand.
You're
me.
not going to say it's a mistake if I get her on your show. You'll be thanking me, won't you? Tell me. Will you be thanking me?
I'm
if
telling
she
you
goes
right
on your
now.
show? 'Cause she's
I'll
not going
thank
on
you,
my
but
show.
you know what?
She
I'm
might
not.
go on
I'm
your
not
show.
asking. I'm not asking anyone. But if they do, if she wants to come on my show, and I'm telling you right now, I will give John Conley the equal time. If she wants to come on my show
If
for
she comes on
30
your
minutes,
show, would you thank me a little bit though?
I'll thank you a lot. But I will offer John Conley the same 30 minutes, and I will try to be as professional if as I can. Yeah. I
And
just,
if she says
I
yes
just
to
think
go
we
on-
need to know more about these people. That's
I
the
do
biggest
too.
thing.
I'm gonna
That's the
tomorrow
thing.
night. Yeah, I think tomorrow night I'm gonna. Lisa sent these awesome videos about her that were actually apparently on the Young Jurks when she spoke. Apparently, so I'm gonna hopefully play those videos. Like, it's good. This is what I want. I want information. If people have information, send it to me. If you like Susan, show us. Let us put it on the show, and I'm gonna try to do that tomorrow night. So
Hey, while I got you live, and feel free to say no to this, will you give me 15 minutes of your time on a Sunday night? Sunday night, if I go live, will you give me 15 minutes? Come on my show.
yeah, depending on what time and if I don't have family shit going on.
That's what I'm saying. Feel free to say no, but
can
I'm
we
gonna
figure-
go. I'm gonna go on Sunday night. I think
All right.
Sunday. I was thinking Sunday nights is like no one else is on. I'll stay away from all you guys on your nights, and I can watch
I
you
don't have
guys.
any
And
nights. I go on any night I
I'll
want.
just
But-
stick to
but-
Sundays and be out of everybody's hair. And
Hit me up Sunday
Yeah.
morning. Hit me up or Saturday night, Sunday
Yeah.
morning. I'll let you know what's going on.
just
with my
15
family.
minutes, just so I can thank you in person on my show. Just to thank you for what you've done for me the last 2 years.
Awesome. I can talk about my exploring.
Yeah,
You could say it's a bad idea that I should stop.
Yeah, no, don't explore. Don't. Trust me. If you lived closer, I would take it way more seriously.
Yeah, but I have someone's offered me a residence there.
Yeah, someone's offered me residence too. And this is honest. I did look into it because that's how I knew. The rule is, because once again, when Chris was living in Canton, Chris not living in Canton, the rule, the basic rule is you're supposed to live in the town. If you don't live in the town, you have to show that you have every intention of moving back to the town or moving to the town. So whether it's looking for a house, getting ready to, get an apartment that's going to open up at some point. So you don't have to live in town. You just have to show the intent that you want to live in town.
That's
and
what I'm
yes,
doing.
that was off. It was offered up to me, but I just, I want to do this now. I think you guys gave me the bug, and I want to entertain.
Yeah, I gotta
Let
figure
me
out.
entertain you.
I gotta figure out if I have the intent to live there because I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out.
The commute's gonna suck, but like I said, you can Zoom at least till March.
Yeah, but I also could intend to move there.
Yeah. I'm gonna go
So I
live
could
on
get
Walpole
in.
Terrace.
I
I'm gonna
could
go live
actually
on
be-
Walpole Terrace.
That's the one thing. I could legally be elected. I could. It's possible in Canada.
You could, but I don't know. Let's seriously look and
We'll
see
see
if
what happens
let's reach
tomorrow.
out to Susan.
Yeah.
And like
Get
I
her on
said,
your show.
John has at the Irish Cultural Center is a big place, and so February 22nd, I think I'm gonna go and I'm going to behave. I'm not gonna go live and try to ruin anything and get kicked out of there. But I think I might go and just see what he says. At least I have an idea. When I was a lot younger in the past, yes, I voted for him because in my mind back then he had the best intentions for the town. I just don't know if it's still the same. I don't think it is. So
People can be influenced too, and sometimes relationships get in the way, and that's what the problem is.
Term
when you're there
limits.
for so long. Yeah,
that's what happens. Term limits.
yeah, and you become indebted to people too. I'm looking forward to seeing more about Susan Harrington. I want to watch those videos today. I want to thank John Como. I want to thank Boston Mike for being here. Free Karen Reed Defense Fund is pinned in the chat. I want to thank our moderators. Sarah's been posting all the links tonight. Thank you, Sarah. I want to thank MJ. She's recovering still. She's been sick. She's the lead moderator. We love MJ. We want her to get better. Also,
Hi, MJ.
Stephanie. Yes, hi, MJ. Stephanie and Jen and Scott McInnes. Thank you to our mod team.
Oh, Scott McGinnis. Can I just another
Yes.
thing? That guy. Nobody says enough about Scott McGinnis. He is everywhere. He's at every standout. He's at court. Let me tell you, there hasn't been one problem from anywhere with Scott McGinnis.
Yeah, everybody.
You know
else
what I
has
mean?
had issues,
He
but
just.
he's hesitant
It
one
doesn't
issue
matter what.
than
Right.
another. Yeah.
He is the one constant. He keeps, and I tell you, he's, anytime I've seen him, he's got a smile on his face. He's like, "Hey, John, how's it going?" He's very quiet, but he's just. I'm telling you, Scott McGinnis, I love you. You are a good man. Awesome man.
100% agree, and I gotta say,
Yeah.
he shows up when you need him too. Like he's been on our
Yeah.
mod team. He's probably the I would say the most like not engaged day to day, but when we need him, and he's there. Like it's weird. Like he
just gets it.
especially like in different moments. Like he'll come in and tell us some shit that we all need to know on our team, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh my god, thank you, Scott. Thank you for speaking out. Like, and he does it the right way. He is. Thank God we have Scott McGinnis.
We need more. We need more Scott McGinnises in
yeah.
this world. Let me tell you.
do.
Same thing with Neil Kelleher.
Yes, I
there's a
love
couple.
Neil.
There's a couple quiet guys that you just all of a sudden you realize they're right there. They're always right there. And Scott McGinnis, Neil Kelleher. We need more of those people.
Thank you so much, Sean Como, for being here tonight.
Yeah.
So make sure you subscribe. The Canton Chronicle
Yes, come
on YouTube.
Come over to my red room on Sunday nights.
And I might be there. We'll see.
All right.
Have
Thank
a great
you.
night, Como.
All right. Bye.
Bye now. With the Young Jerks, I just want to check real quick on any Venmos or Super Chats. I think I got them all up, right? I think I got everything up. See, I could do it easy tonight. I thank you, Adam Lally's resignation, too, for the comment tonight. And I know our chat was very nice to Adam Lally's resignation. And the same thing with Mary. And I want to thank Sarah for being a mod. And Coffee Cake in Glen Lake. I love our chat. I think I got all the Venmos and all that stuff. Let me just. Yeah, I did. I might be back tomorrow. I think so. I think we'll see. I think I got more content to do. I'm not sure, though. My weekend's in play. We'll see. But again, Tuesday night, Canton Select Board meeting. Wednesday night, it looks like we're going to have Nan back on. Only Nan, the attorney, Nan Gallagher, Lothario. All right, I'll see everyone soon. Have a great night.